Well, thank you for joining me this evening. I'm going to talk a little bit about the ethics in HOA governance and the importance. Just hit on a couple of key topics. I'm sure that if you are aware of, being a homeowner, being on a board, being a board member, all of these things are they can be scary because you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing when you're talking about, your code of ethics as a board member, and you want to be in the know, as a homeowner, what exactly that means. So my name is Erin Heugerich, and I am a CAM. I work with Ardent Residential. I do a lot of different things at Ardent Residential. But today I'm doing this webinar on ethics and HOA governance. So before we dive into the specifics, let's emphasize, like I said, the importance of ethics within homeowners associations. It's, when you talk about an HOA, they're community-driven organizations that rely on trust and ethical conduct to thrive. So ethical decision-making ensures that the board is going to operate to the best interest of the community that it serves. So extremely important because the membership is going to obviously have that trust within the board. So if you can get the membership to trust you and ensure that, it's going to help with that partnership. The board responsibilities, when you are talking about ethics, board members are elected or they're appointed to oversee the HOA's operations, their decision-making about budgeting, maintenance, vendor management, rule enforcement, and really represent the interests of the homeowners in the community while being a voice for them as well. So their roles are really pivotal in shaping the community's present and future, because all of those decisions are going to affect the future of the community. So, just an overall role in ethics in HOA governance. Ethics in the HOA governance really is going to ensure that the board is operating with integrity, with fairness, transparency. It's going to be really the cornerstone of trust between board members and residents and the community at large. So ethical behavior is not only expected, it's extremely critical to successful functioning of the HOA and the membership as a whole. There are a couple of key principles really for HOA board members that they really need to focus on when they're thinking about ethics. First is, transparency and communication. And really with that becomes open communication. That's huge. And those are the two things that I think are critical within, with board members, and not only with board members, but also with management companies working with board members as well. So really transparency, you need to be, open and honest with that communication. The boards need to be able to share information about finances, meetings, decisions that are being made. They need to be able to communicate that information and be transparent. So that communication and transparency are really going to play hand in hand, and it also is going to foster trust and community engagement. The more that the membership can trust and have that trust in the board, the better off, the community as a whole is going to be. So I think we can all agree that everybody wants to know what's going on within the community. So that's extremely important. The next topics that we kind of run through are going to be more with confidentiality and privacy. So while transparency is going to be extremely vital, confidentiality is equally as important. Board members really must respect the privacy of sensitive matters that have been discussed in executive sessions, such as homeowner disputes, or maybe there's some legal issues that are going on. So they really need to take that into consideration and making sure that they're not, handing out any personal or confidential information about what's going on with specific items within the community. The next item is we jump to accountability and responsibility. So all of the board members also must take responsibility for their actions and their decision-making skills. The use of community resources, as one of my friends say, we don't graduate past human. So, being accountable for your role ensures that, really a board member is going to be acting in the best interest of homeowners. So we really want to make sure that, they are accountable for, their actions. We all make mistakes, but accountability and being responsible and taking the position and the role seriously is definitely a key component. And also being fair, treating everybody equal, treating homeowners equal, treating other board members equal. So, without favoritism. Ethical board members really make decisions based on community needs and rules and bylaws, not a personal basis. So, that's definitely key in making sure that everybody is treated fairly. So nobody wants to be, stand out for an unknown reason. Integrity and honesty. Integrity is doing the right thing, even when it's difficult, which, I think we've all been in that position before. Honest and ethical behavior is non-negotiable for board members. They are like we just talked about, really doing everything what is in the best interest of the community. That is their role. That's their job. And I think a lot of times too, it can be difficult for homeowners because, you don't see behind the scenes what a board member might see. So that can put a membership in a difficult situation to truly understand why board members might be making decisions the way that they are. Really, the next topic would be really addressing conflicts of interest, right? Some board members might be, they might find that a little bit tough. But they have to be vigilant in recognizing and mitigating conflicts of interest and ensuring that they can act in the best interest of the community rather for personal gain. So nobody, I think it's difficult when you're a board member and you're trying to address conflicts of interest. So that they can arise within the board, they can arise within the membership. So it's never an easy position to be in. Any board member, I mean, you have to be, you should thank all of the board members. It's not an easy position. And that's why a lot of times management companies come on board as well to help mitigate those conflicts of interest and to take some of that weight off of the board members and be that middleman between the membership and the board members. When you kind of go on to, your fiduciary duty, really that's going to be board members. They have to act in the best financial interests of the HOA and manage the funds responsibly. There's a lot that's going on. There's a lot of money that's collected, and you have to make sure that you are acting and doing things for the community that need to be done, and being able to prioritize and really understand, which items are most important and which items can be, saved for a later date based on, your financial duty. That's why, the budgeting is extremely important as well. Understanding conflicts of interest, that's, really prevalent. It's an ethical challenge for HOA board members. It's just managing those conflicts of interest. They can arise when a board member stands to gain personally from a decision that they make on behalf of the community. So it's essential to really have policies and procedures in place for disclosing and addressing and managing certain conflicts. The next kind of topic, and I think that a lot of board members and the membership, they talk back and forth about, transparency is great, but also, the talk of, and the challenge of financial transparency is difficult as well. So maintaining financial transparency can be a challenge. HOAs, they often handle significant budgets and expenditures. They have a lot of different things that are thrown at them, and a lot of board members and membership, people of the membership come with a lot of different ideas. So ensuring that the financial information is available to all homeowners and that funds are managed responsibly is really ethically demanding, right? Because everybody wants to know what's going on within the community financially. The more that they can understand what's going on within the community and how money is being spent, it's going to relax everybody a little bit. And then, the decisions that the board does make is going to be a little bit more understood by the membership. So very, very important, again, for transparency. Ethical decision making, another key item, is really balancing the need for quick decision making with ethical considerations that can be challenging. So all board members, they have to be transparent about decision making process and ensure that all residents really have the opportunity to voice their concerns and be heard. So extremely important. Enforcing rules with ethical dilemmas. It's hard. Enforcing rules and regulations in a fair and consistent manner can be difficult. It's hard, dealing with conflict and dealing with things that might be certain situations that might be, uncomfortable, but so it becomes ethically challenging. Board members, they must really strive at that point to, make decisions and not have any biased opinions and really avoid any type of perception of bias when addressing certain violations or issues that could arise. So, next we kind of hop to handling complaints and disputes, navigating complaints and disputes and how to take that on. Board members often find themselves in the middle of homeowner disputes and complaints. I know that I'll have people come up to me and, that are board members, and they're like, oh, I was walking my dog and this, this homeowner, they were, came up and complained about a violation that they received, and, they wanted me to waive their violation. So, really, even if you have a management company, you're still a point of contact to a lot of homeowners. So, it's still going to be essentially challenging, to mediate those conflicts while also maintaining, and being neutral and upholding the community's rules and bylaws. So again, it can be uncomfortable, but it's not an easy role being a board member, but man, there's nothing better than making sure that you are continuing to keep your community up and running and really making sure that all the decisions that are being made are in the best interest of your community. So, the common ethical challenges highlight of the importance of, having a well-defined code of ethics is extremely important. And conflict resolution procedures within the HOA, a strong ethical foundation is essential for navigating challenges and preserving the trust of homeowners. So it's extremely critical. So you really just want to make sure that you're really balancing what you're doing and having those key items that you can really go back and focus on to make sure that you're tracking yourself as a board member and that the membership also understands what's going on. So I know this was kind of short. I don't know if anybody has any questions about anything. I hope that everybody is going to have a great holiday couple of weeks coming up soon. And I'm glad that everybody could kind of join me. But in closing, we've kind of explored some of the critical topics of HOA board member ethics from multiple angles and gaining some insights into the foundations of ethical behavior and some of the common challenges faced by board members and really the need for ethical governance in homeowner associations. So again, really the key point takeaway here is, if you are a board member, it's not an easy job. And, if you're, a homeowner and you're joining us this evening, please thank your board members. It's not an easy position. It's a volunteer position. And, it's demanding and it can be uncomfortable at times. So saying thank you to the board members and volunteering for that position, something to be thankful for and to have. So thank you for joining me tonight, and I appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season.